Hey everyone, as you can see I'm at a beautiful tennis resort for the ASICS Tennis Summit, and in the past few days I've managed to meet some of the world's best players, including Novak Djokovic. In today's video I'm going to be showing you what I've been getting up to at this event. Let's check it out. ASICS invited me to their tennis summit along with some other tennis content creators from all over the world. This event was to showcase their most innovative range yet, including the launch of 2 new shoes and to give a select few the opportunity to test them out on court. The event was held at the Puente Romano resort in Marbella, a stunning hotel and tennis club. After arriving late in the afternoon, we had a welcome dinner in the hotel. This was a great opportunity to meet some of the other guests, along with some of the pro tennis players who were also attending the event. The next day was the main day of the summit, and it was a super early start to have breakfast and then head straight to the auditorium where the press conference was going to be held. After some introductions and a really interesting history to the ASICS brand, the team introduced the new Gel Resolution 9 shoes and the Court FF3 shoes, along with their new innovative range of clothing. To be honest, I was completely blown away by ASICS' attention to detail and desire to evolve the way tennis shoes perform. You'll see why in one of my later videos where I actually review both the Gel Resolution 9 and the Court FF3, as they've really introduced some groundbreaking technology into both pairs of trainers. After introducing the 2023 product lineup, Novak Djokovic entered the room and stepped up onto the stage to speak about his involvement in development of the FF3, and then afterwards answered some of our questions.
I think it's important to have the clear goals, one thing is, okay, I love the game, I enjoy it. Sometimes I don't enjoy it as much. It's a hustle, it's an effort, but that's life, you have good days, bad days. That's why I think you have to have a clear goal in order for this goal to really pull you in this direction when the times get tough on the court.
Once Novak left the stage, it was the end of the conference and all of the guests headed back to their rooms where we were greeted with a goodie bag of ASICS gear. In this bag, I got both pairs of trainers, a couple of t-shirts and pairs of shorts, a tracksuit, some socks, some sweatbands and a cap and other things. So I changed into this gear, headed to lunch before the next exciting part of the day, where I got the opportunity to have a one-to-one interview with Harriet. Now I'm not going to post that here because I actually posted that video last week, and if you haven't seen it before, I'll pop the link in the description below. After finishing with Harriet, I went straight to the tennis courts, and this is where the real fun began. There were 3 tennis courts in action, 2 hard courts and 1 clay court, and all of these courts looked stunning. There were actually 100 guests at this event, which were split into 6 groups, and each of these groups would take part in 3 activities. Number 1 was called Own the Baseline, where we would test out the Gel Resolution 9s. Number 2 was called Move Like Novak, and this was where we tested out the Court FF3s. And finally, the last court was called No Distractions, and this was testing out the new line of apparel. To make things exciting, on each court there was a scored activity, where players would accumulate points. The top 2 players from each group would be put into a raffle to play in an exhibition match later that evening with some of the professional tennis players at the event. Just quickly before I show you how I got on court, if you're enjoying the video so far, I'd love it if you'd hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing to the channel, especially if you're keen to see my reviews of the shoes and the Novak Q&A. So first of all, we took part in Own the Baseline. The coaching team took us through some warm-ups and lots of lateral agility exercises to test out the trainers. Afterwards, we did a drill where we had to hit 4 shots, forehand, backhand, backhand, into the back corners of the court. Each time we hit the target zone, we'd score a point. After a few rounds of this drill, I actually came second in my group, which was really cool. Next up, we moved on to the Move Like Novak court, where we got to test out the Court FF3s. On this court, just like the last one, we did a quick warm-up, but this time we were moving in multiple directions, especially forwards and backwards, to test out the speed of the shoes. This exercise was fun. We would hit a return of serve, followed by chasing down a short ball. Then we would track back to receive a deep ball before receiving ball number 4, which would be short again. The scoring system on this one was just like before. You get a point for each time you hit the back zone. However, there was a hoop at the front of the court, which was worth 2 points. As you can see, I had lots of fun on this one, and I actually hit a couple of tweeners as well. And overall, after a few rounds, I actually managed to win out of my players on my court. The final court was a serving challenge where we got to test out how restrictive the apparel was. On this court, each time you hit a serve in, you would score 1 point. If you hit the bag, which was positioned out wide in the service box, you'd score 2 points, and if you hit the cone, you'd score 3. Now on this court, I tied in first place with 2 other players. But there did have to be a winner, so the coaches got us to do another round, but this time with our weak hand. As you can see, I'm not very good with my weak hand, so I played super safe and pushed the ball in, as did one of the other players. After that round, there were just 2 of us left, and the coaches then got us to hit with more power. Fortunately, I managed to get one of my 2 serves in, so I managed to win that group again. After coming second, first and first, this actually put me in first place overall out of all of the players at the summit. I'm not going to lie, I was pretty chuffed as I really wanted to play in the exhibition match. However, my name was put into the raffle and unfortunately it wasn't to be, but did have an amazing evening watching the exhibition matches. My friend Fabio from Functional Tennis got to play an exhibition doubles paired up with Corentin Moutet to take on Jasmine Paolini and one of the other guests. And in some of the other matches, there were other players such as Alex Koretzka, who was previously number 2 in the ATP rankings, as well as Petra Marchenko, who is actually the Australian Open Juniors winner this year. That was a wrap for the main day of the summit. However, the next day we had the opportunity to get back onto court with some professional photographers and videographers to shoot some content. However, it rained all day. We did get some pictures and videos, but I used this as an opportunity to film some coaching content with Dylan Gee. We made 3 or 4 short videos for Instagram, so if you want to check those out, follow us both over on Instagram. Overall, as you saw, I had the most incredible time and I can't thank ASICS enough for the invitation. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be posting a couple more videos from this trip, looking at the shoes in more detail, as well as the Djokovic interview. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already to avoid missing out. As always, massive thank you for watching and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.